Good morning, children. Today we are doing a story on Little Digger. What's the story's name? Little Digger. Can you see? There's a Little Digger. Little D, the digger, had been helping to build a country road. So what is Little Digger helping? To make a road in the country. Now the work was done. She wanted to go home. The work was over in the country and she wanted to go back home. I can't remember the way, she said. Little Digger couldn't remember the way back home. Chug, chug, chug. Along came her big friend, Big T. So Big T, the tractor, I'm lost too, he called. Let's go ask somebody how to find our way home. So Little D and Big T both were lost and they needed to go back home and they were not able to find their way back home. Little D and Big T both lived on the same building site. So they both lived together, hence they can find the home together. We can ask Big Red Fire Engine. Can you see? This is a fire engine. So they thought in their head, let's go and ask the fire engine if he knows the way, said the Big T. The red truck shook his head. Sorry, he replied. I go so fast on my way to a fire, I don't see many places. Ask at the airport. So what happens is, when the fire engine goes on the road, it goes so fast that he doesn't see left and right. He just keeps moving. So he doesn't know what are the buildings that come on the way. So he is suggesting them to go and see at the airport. Nino, Nino. Big Wings, the passenger jet, roared high on overhead. Do you know the way to our building site? Yelled Little D. The Little D is asking the aeroplane. Do you know the way to our building site? No, I'm sorry. Call down the giant place. Places look so small from the air. Why don't you ask at the police station? Good idea, agreed Big T. So the aeroplane also didn't know the way to their house. So the aeroplane suggested them to go and ask at the police station. Police car knew where the building site was. I just don't have time to show you, he yelled. This is the police car, and the police car is telling them, I know where your building site is, but the problem is I don't have time at the moment to show you. Speeding away with his blue and red lights flashing. Someone needs my help. Nino, Nino, Nino. Police car disappeared into a distance. What now? Sighed Little D. Let's ask at the bus depot, suggested the Big T. Vroom, vroom. Big blue bus just leaving. I know where you live, she said. I pass your building every day. The bus was able to tell them that I know that where do you live and I pass your building every day. Little T and Big D asked to be shown the way. I'm afraid I can't help you just now, honked the busy bus. I have too many passengers to pick up. You could ask at the hospital. What happens? The bus needs to go because it needs to reach the bus stops at the same time and there are passengers waiting for the bus. So he doesn't have time right now to show Little D and Big T their houses. Smiley ambulance was parked outside to get home. You have to turn left, then right, go straight ahead, turn left twice and then turn right again. This is what the ambulance told them. Oh dear, we can't remember all that, groaned little D. If you go and ask at the railway station, they'll be sure to help you, said kind ambulance. The ambulance gave them the directions which little D and big T couldn't remember. So the ambulance told them that why don't you go and ask at the railway station. Maybe they are able to tell you where do you live. Ding ding, ding ding. Speedy train was coming. So the two friends waited for him at the railway station crossing. So both of them are waiting at the railway station crossing. I passed your building site a minute ago. What is the railway telling? That I just passed your railway station a minute ago. He tooted. It's just around the corner. Did you hear that, little D, said Big T. Yes, my little D, excitedly. We are nearly home. They were so excited that they had reached near their house. Little D and Big T drove onto the building site. It was full of mud and building equipments. Can you all see the building? It was full of mud and building equipments. This is definitely where we live, said Big T. Soon the pair were hard at work helping to build the new house on the site. Hooray! We are home at last, cheered little D. They were so happy that they were at home and they started quickly helping to build their new house. And they were very excited. So let's see if you all remember the story. I'm going to ask you a few questions. What was the story's name? Yes, it was Little Digger. So what happens in the story? Little Digger and Big T. So little D and Big T were lost and they were not able to find their way back home. So who do you think helps them? Does the fire engine help them? Fire engine is not able to help. You know what does the fire engine say? That I passed the building so fast that I don't remember any building's name. Why don't you go and ask at the airport? Now does the aeroplane help the Big T and the little D? They are not able to help him because he's saying I'm so up high in the sky that I can barely see the buildings down. Why don't you go and ask at the police station? The police station, they know where their building site is. But they are also not able to help because they have some emergency and they were going. So they were very, very busy. After that, they go to the bus depot. What does the bus depot tell them? Bus depot tells them, I pass your house every day, but I am very, very unsure and I will not be able to help you at the moment because I need to pick up all the passengers and make them reach to their work. So why don't you go and ask at the hospital? So the Big T and the little D go to the hospital and speak to the ambulance. And what does the ambulance do? Is the ambulance able to answer? Ambulance says, I'm not able to answer. Although the ambulance gives them direction, go left, turn right, but they are not able to remember the directions. Hence the ambulance tell them, why don't you go to the railway station? Then when they go to the railway station, they ask the train. What do they ask? Do you know where do we live? And what does the railway station, the railway tell them? Yes, we know and I just passed your place. You are nearly towards your house. They got damn excited and little D and Big T drove to the building site and they reached their building site. And what do you see near the building site? It's all mud and building equipments. All mud is there and there are some equipments of the building. They were so excited to reach back to their house, and they started helping and finished their work as soon as possible, and they reached to their building. Did you all enjoy the story as much I did narrating y'all? I'm sure y'all did. Thank you.